Today's episode of Who That Filipino. My name is Rocko Steady, here with John Michael Moro, the Moaning Ice Candy Man. That you're known here in Cebu for your particular unique way of selling ice candy.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer of marketing and standing out as a entrepreneur, as somebody that likes to go out and share their service and their product. So tell us a little bit about how you started and your motivation, and how you came up with this unique way of marketing yourself.
Yes, actually, I started back then in 2010. This is when I had my late wife. We started this because we had that mindset that it's not going to be all the time that I will be an employee. I don't believe that I'm going to be retiring at 65 as an employee. I really have to have a plan B on my life. So starting a business will always be my plan B. And when we started with just a table and a chair back in Aurelio. It's now Walk Cafe. And we start with the concept, but the auntie of my wife wanted to get it. At first, it was like about soft drinks, and he really got it. After that, I really asked my late wife about what can we do, and that's the thing that she said that, oh, let's do ice candy. I know how to do this and such. That's why we started it. She said, John, how will we start it? I really told my wife, just do the product first. Let me do the marketing aspect of it. And at that time, I really didn't know how to sell from the very start. I was friendly, I was humble, but I didn't know how to sell. But my late wife was my motivation for me to let that ability that has not yet been gone out to go out. And that's one thing. When I was selling, I had a customer talk me throughout. He said, "You have a good product. Why not create your own strategy?" When I went home, I prayed, and then in the end, I was looking like, what kind of strategy will I make wherein I could create my own name and it can't be replicated. No matter what I show it, how I teach it, it will never be replicated. It will be the first for me. That's why I also look into how people will look at me. There are three things that people will look at me. First, they will look at me, if they will not know me well, they will look at me as a deaf mute. The second one, they will look at me as part of the LGBT, which is I am not. They will look at me as something having a problem with the mindset. But I'm not one of them.
Right.
Why am I doing it? It's because I have a responsibility to my family. And I created this family. I have to do what's necessary. And then when we started, there were critics that would tell us that, they will tell us that, how are you gonna sell with that kind of strategy? That's first.
Right.
How would I rebut with them? I would go on educating them, because I know that those critics that would go to me would be close-minded. Then a conversation with them would open their mindset to the reality in life, because particularly freedom for expression in particular, it has not been talked about. It's not been placed into heart. And I want to share that to those close-minded, the conservative mindset, because I think that on my mind is like, if I stay on my comfort zone, I would never create my own thing. Just the same as the cars that you see right now, the horses, the cows, they were the one that ruled the streets. The cars were taboo, early 90s, right? But as the years go by, the horses, the cows are now in the barn. The cars, the motorcycles are on the streets.
Right.
And as the year go by, as the But I didn't really go to somewhat like a shortcut to everything. I've gone to the process of life, and it's been 15 years, and everything has been
Develop.
used to,
Yeah.
yeah. I've talked to Mark Wins along the road. I've talked to Brian Heruela along the road. Don Ontiveros uh, became a customer of mine, and because of what I did, it became like they would always say, your strategy is unique. This is the first.
Mm.
And yeah, I believe yes, it's the first because I've checked social media. I have not seen anybody selling the way I do.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, uh, and I know that moving forward, I'm gonna give this to my little boy,
yeah,
which is a 9-year-old kid. He's grade 4 already, and I always would tell him that uh, enjoy being a kid. When I started what I started, nobody taught me about it. It's really raw. Now that I've learned all the techniques and such, I will be your teacher.
yeah. So for those that don't know what this unique strategy is, would you
Yeah.
care to bless us with the
Yes.
sound that echoes the beautiful streets of Cebu?
Yes. It's Iskandar, Mas Milon, Anxious. And how you do it, that's the arrangement
Yeah.
is the product, the class of the product, and the price.
So the product is ice candy,
Yes.
and then the class is
It might be avocado, mango, guyabano, durian, rambutan,
uh-huh.
kayamito, fruit salad, buko salad,
Right.
dragon fruit, uh, and marang. I've already started creating marang as a nice candy,
Mm-hmm.
which has not been done yet. And I know I'm the pioneer to those things. And every year I'm looking into upgrading my product, but not destroying how it's done,
Right.
but just the fruit because what I'm looking into is manzanitas, mangosteen, and then santol as a nice candy moving forward.
Awesome. And the last part, what is the cost?
The cost for it, it's around 600 to 800 pesos per production.
No, no,
As
no. The for the part of your moaning.
yeah,
So what you say the ice candy, you say the type, and then you say
the
the
price.
price. So
Yeah,
how much is each one?
it's 10 pesos per piece.
10 pesos. Okay. And how many pieces do you fit in your
If this is the ice bucket, because I have 3 ice bucket, there's the big one, which is 250 pieces. It
Mhm.
can, if it's all are hardened. This one is 130. The smallest is 60 pieces.
Awesome.
Yeah. And, yeah.
And
The-
so what is 10 years from now, what is John Michael's vision for his business, for his life? Where would you like to see your life go?
It's going to go up. I'm really going to bring this to another level, but not destroying how it's done.
Yeah,
This will still be where it is.
the origin, yeah.
Yeah, the original recipe towards it. I'll protect this because I've seen some businesses, particularly a pizza business, that before he was part of that business, he didn't patent this product. Eventually, he was kicked out of the company.
And they stole it.
Now, yeah, he has another business right now. But if you look at the business that he started, uh, that business is already at around the top 5
Yes.
of that product.
Right.
The new business that he has, it's around the top 50.
Right.
And there's also a business that I know that a competitor ate that business. But there's one thing that competitor that swallowed his competitor is protecting. The owner of that business that he swallowed is still a minority owner of the business itself. Looking at this going on another level, going places already, and at the same time educating the youngsters that it can be done. It really can be done. It's not impossible. because I've done going into SMC side, selling inside SMC side
Right,
really.
right, right.
Cybergate, this SRP that you see, I am also passing from time to time here.
Yeah.
And I have already revolutionized selling ice candy as a night shift scheme, wherein it has not been done that any ice candy has sold ice candy during nighttime, during dawn,
Right.
during rainy season. Some will always say that on rainy season, ice candies are sold at a minimal.
Right, right.
But I don't believe on that because why? There are really my customers that they will say, he sells during rainy season and it's always a sold out.
Right, right, right.
During nighttime, like yesterday, I sold at 8 o'clock in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
I was done at around 1 o'clock by dawn. And then I went home. And then, because my principle really in life is nothing is impossible. Always believe that you can do it and you will really do it. And I look at that going up,
Yeah.
and I will really be sharing my enterprise to my youngster, my young boy.
Right.
He will be the one that's gonna follow up with the business.
Right.
I will be supervising him, but I will not mingle on his decision. I'll let him make the decision. But if I see something wrong on his decision making, then that's the time I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna tell him what decision that he made wrong, and in the process also, I'm not gonna give this to my kid that he will start from the top. No, I'm letting him gonna start from the bottom still because what with no special treatment. If I have already my personnel, it's because I want him to learn from the
Appreciate
bottom.
it. Yeah.
No, when he makes decision,
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be.
Yeah, because there's a foundation.
Yes, there's a foundation.
Right, right, right. You mentioned that you prayed to God. I believe that faith is a big part of a lot of people's success.
Yeah.
Based on the hundreds of successful people that I've interviewed.
Yeah.
Tell us about your relationship with God and how God has contributed to your life.
Yeah. God has been part of my life through my happy times and through my sad times. Given that I had been an acolyte for 14 years back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a time in my life that I fell from 2 floors of a building.
Wow.
Then my back was really rammed to the floor, cement floor. And eventually, I was 18 back then. I'm already 42, turning 42 this year. I can tell you, I didn't have any injury with my spinal column. Given to that, it made me stronger to my faith that I really believe that for everything that God has given us, the trials, the hardship, that's not to persecute us, but to test us if we really believe on His plan for us. Because sometimes there are people that when they ask on some things and it's not given, they will always really blame Him, right? Like one example of that is like there are people that are asking for a house, and when that's not given right then and then, because that person he made that person realize that your land is just a little bit. You have to widen your land first before you create a house.
Right.
And then they murmur, they blame him, right? But you have to understand that for everything that we pray to God, it's answered. But He is looking first on what's going to be better for us. When we realize that your land becomes big, He will let you realize the hollow blocks, the doors, the roofs. It will be provided to you. And do not really take that hardship that you've been through as a persecution. No. It's a test. It's a test that you have to pass. And He knows that you can
Handle it,
yeah, you can handle it. You just have to believe in Him. And if you pass the test, you will be where you are. Like what I did. And like at the time I was 18, I fell from that 2 floors building, and it was really my time. You wouldn't see me here, right?
Right.
But I guess he has something that he wants me to do. That's why I'm still 42. I'm healthy as ever, and I'm able to inspire a lot of youngsters. Given that I would meet some youngsters that would cover their ears, I will really tell them, "Ma'am, you're still a student. You still have a lot of things to learn.
Right.
Aim for growth, because why? You might be covering your ears for now, but I can assure you that when you become a parent, I can assure you, you will remember me, the person that you said that you cover your ears for, because life being married is never gonna be easy. If you just find you find the beauty, the money, not the heart. Let the heart find your partner. It might not be beautiful for others, but for you, it's a gem."
Yeah. Well, John Michael, it's been an absolute pleasure. One last thing,
Yeah.
if you were to send a message to the kababayans out there, all the Filipinos all around the world, what is one message that John Michael would like to share with them?
Yeah. Anything is not impossible. Everything in life is not impossible. Set your mind that to think that it is impossible, and it will really be possible. Because when you condition your mind to say that you can do it, you can do it. But if you condition your mind to say, "I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it," then that's gonna be impossible for you. And as my coach would always say, anything that you force may be painful or may bleed. In life, if at the first try you don't become successful on it, don't force it. Recollect on the things that you did that's wrong. Once you recollect on your mistake, do another try. And I can assure you, when it's not forcible, you will get your results. The way that I do, that I would always stay simple and humble and inspire a lot of youngsters out there.
Salamat kay po. One last thing, if you could just look into the camera and say who that Filipino with your moaning voice.
Yeah.
That's the name of the vlog. 1, 2, 3.
Who the Filipino is? Who the Filip?
Who that Filipino?
Yeah. Who that Filipino is?
Salamat kay po. John Michael, tonight I would like to buy the rest of what's in here.
Sure.
So you can give it away for the rest of the
Yeah, sure.
night, okay?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.